Hey folks, this is going to be your daily update in the state of Orwell we find ourselves in now, about 2 months into this planned demonic agenda that's been put into place on us all. In the local area where I live in Mendocino County, it couldn't get more Orwellian than this. Wanted to bring it to your attention. First, look to the right, this company Cyber, C-Y-B-R-I. Look at the owl, penetration testing experts with the owl. Who do you think is behind this? Why do they call the World Health Organization WHO? It's all part of their owl, just like they call NOAA, N-O-A-A, NOAA, like the Ark, the weather guys, all part of their game. All right, so Mendocino Public Health to conduct COVID-19 testing in, quote, vulnerable populations. Aren't we all vulnerable now? So public health officials have announced focused testing. Look at the new buzzwords they're introducing. Focused testing for COVID-19 vulnerable populations. Well, aren't they saying every one of us is vulnerable? The focused testing is formally called, get this, surveillance testing. Military term, surveillance testing, as they deploy their arsenal, the smart surveillance military arsenal residential technology. Smart. It's in their language. We'll look for people, and get this, without symptoms. Get it? Without symptoms, we're going to look at this surveillance testing. We're going to roll it out on the homeless who may be infected with the virus. We want to ensure it's not silently circulating. Oh, we're going to ensure it for you guys because we really care about the homeless now. Many of our most vulnerable residents are high risk of developing serious complications, living in congregate environments like shelters on the streets. Offering free testing. I want to give it to you for free, folks. You know, something's really bad. These groups can go a long way to evaluating the risk in our county. The testing will focus on those experiencing homelessness, the frail, the elderly, and get this, individuals who serve those populations. So this is the essentials, the non-essentials and the essentials, the despicables and the non-despicables. So anybody that's nurses and policemen and everything are going to have to get tested even though they're asymptomatic. They don't show it because they're caring for and looking out for the homeless, the frail, the elderly, yada, yada, yada. We believe it's part of living our mission, and we're happy to partner with the public health in reaching out to the community wherever they need us, said Shill Jason Wells of the Adventist Health for Mendocino County. Hey, Mr. Wells, will you just wake the heck up? Do you understand what they're doing with all this? They go and test somebody and they test, well, we'll get into that in a minute. So they're focusing on the Plowshares Peace and Justice Center. This is the local food bank where they serve the homeless in Ukiah here. So they're focusing on the economically disadvantaged. Well, they just bankrupted the whole country. Who's economically not disadvantaged these days? And vulnerable populations, including those experiencing homeless, elderly, and medically compromised. Medically compromised. What does medically compromised mean? Officials will respond by providing, get this is the worst part. Officials will respond by providing isolation and quarantine to any persons. By providing, the officials are going to provide. They're not going to self-quarantine you at home and say go home and stay there, shelter in place. They're telling you they're going to provide the isolation and quarantine. Now we know what all those tents for. Now we know why the Miami football stadiums and the FedEx Stadium in Maryland are all being converted to, quote, testing centers. Because that's where they're going to take us, folks, the FEMA camps and whatever. Here they're setting the table for it in the county where we live, right here, right now. In another news in the daily state of Orwell, L.A. Mayor Shill Garcetti encourages residents to report violators or stay at home, and the snitches will get rewarded in their rat your neighbor out policy being implemented in Los Angeles. See something, say something, get paid. Meanwhile, the director for the Health and Human Services for the federal government says, oh, by the way, we're classifying all deaths as COVID-19 regardless of the cause. You understand what's going on here, folks? Sound like Joe and Brianna. Do you understand, folks, what's going on here? The purge siren used in Louisiana for town and Cronus curfew lockdown. They've got a siren they go around at night to enforce curfew by the police, and they make everybody wake up and hear it. and they're giving all the one-third of Americans missed rent payments in April. They're giving a break to all those, but the property taxes for those that own homes are due in a few days or 2 days, and that's going to put a dent in everybody's wallet. Nobody's making money anymore. This is just this war of attrition, as Celeste Salam said was going to happen. And then we're seeing the numbers that are dying from COVID-19, more blacks than whites. Is there something in the whole frequencies of this COVID thing that's killing them, or is this just another issue to divide and conquer? And then we got Commander Waffler threatens to withhold funding for who, and everybody gets all excited, and the next day he backtracks and says, well. And then the commander, what the fuck? He's firing people right and left. He fired the guy that was the watchdog for the independent federal government that oversees everything. Same thing that happened before with the beginnings of Trump's administration. That's why he was on the show You're Fired, whatever that stupid show was, The Celebrity Apprentice, because he could fire everybody because they knew that was going to happen, setting the table a long time ago. So California judicial leaders set bail to zero, postponed foreclosures and eviction proceedings amongst coronavirus pandemic. So those that own homes are going to have to pay. People paying rent don't have to pay. And so that's going to put pressure on people that own homes or to rely on rent income as part of their income strategy, especially for retirement and whatnot, because renters are not going to be paid. And again, they're letting people out of the jails, but they're putting people in jail for sitting on a park bench enjoying the sun, taking 5 cops to do it. And then I just did a video on the selfie vaccine coming. I want to show you one of these comments here on that. You can watch the video, but here's the transition from the alleged. Remember, there's no real pictures of the coronavirus. It's all a meme. And then this is the alteration, they're calling it mRNA, which is being diagnosed. And here we can just read this. It's being used on humans to program and access genetic and physical mental memory. 5G is a tool then to remotely control your mind, create memories, access memories, and manipulate memories. They can instill images, emotions, and more. Genetic memory, mRNA, genetic memory passed on for generations, changed and recreated in you. The DNA is passed on, RNA, why we know snakes are dangerous, passed on instinctive memory, physical memory manipulation through mRNA. And this is going to be in the new vaccines cometh. Sorry for the truth, folks, but that's the way it is. So just take the information and do what thou willst and what thou have to do. Remember, time's short to get yourself prepared for the food shortages that seem to be coming very quickly now. Again, they've National Guarded all the food supply systems in each county. They're also going in and helping food storage at night in some of the stores and whatnot, and under the occupancy control system in the Walmarts and the Costco's. Costco just announced many stores are having essential items only as the slow boil frog is being heated up quicker and quicker. All right, just notes to keep you updated on what's going on here. Keep your sanity. Keep strong. We will get through this together, but don't give in to the fear. And don't be afraid, because we will win in the long term. It's just we got to let them play their role out as they do. Shelter in place. Don't be a hero right now, folks. There's no reason to go and take down a cell phone tower, or step up and if you got to get arrested to step up and morally not give in. That's fine. But understand that you're probably going to get tested, and at some point they'll probably start disappearing people with this mandatory vulnerable populations, surveillance testing. We're going to quarantine you now if we find something in you, test kits that are 80% false positives. And a lot of us are on a list, so those of us that are more vulnerable, speaking the truth to power, whatever happens if we get pulled into this net they're putting out, that would be a story in itself. Anyway, stay strong, be positive, and we'll get through this together. Take care. Peace and love.